Hello and welcome to HUECU's Harvard Graduate Loan Exit Counseling Session. My name is Melanie Martinez and I am the Education Lending Servicing Coordinator at Harvard University Employees Credit Union. Today we're going to review some important information that will help prepare you for the repayment of your education loan. Before we jump into the loan details, I want to give a little background information on who we are. The Harvard University Employees Credit Union is a financial institution that exclusively serves the students, alumni, faculty, and staff of Harvard University in addition to their affiliated organizations. We are a not-for-profit that operates under a cooperative model, which means every member is an equal shareholder. Once you borrow a Harvard graduate loan with us, you become a member of the Harvard University Employees Credit Union. As part of the loan application process, you opened a shared savings account, which can be used during and after your enrollment. Your membership also extends out to your family members. Moving into the agenda, you will first learn about our education loan servicer, as well as our role as the lender of your Harvard graduate loan. Next, we'll cover rate types and how interest works. Then we'll move on to the details of repaying your Harvard graduate loan, such as when payments begin and how to make them. Afterwards, we'll discuss the consequences of default and how to avoid it. We'll also go over some money management tips that can assist in successfully repaying your loan, in addition to any other financial obligations you may have. I'll also provide you with some resources that you can reference after this session. And lastly, you will create and log into your UAS Connect account, which will wrap up this exit session. As you may know, HUECU is the lender of your Harvard graduate education loan. This means we provided the funds needed for tuition with the expectation that the funds will be repaid. We partner with University Accounting Services, also known as UAS, to provide servicing for our education loans. UAS collects payments on behalf of HUECU and handles ongoing repayment and billing communications, as well as any general account questions you may have. With close to 50 years of experience, UAS has a long history of helping borrowers successfully manage and repay their debt. You will maintain a direct relationship with UAS and HUECU as you work toward repaying your loan. One important detail you will want to know about your education loan is your interest rate. Your graduate loan may have a fixed, variable, or hybrid interest rate. If your rate is fixed, that means it will remain the same throughout the life of the loan and your payment amount will remain consistent. Variable rates are the opposite of that, which means your rate and payment amount can adjust up or down based on changes to the US prime rate. Hybrid is a combination of the two, starting off as fixed for the first 5 years, beginning from first disbursement, and then becoming variable for the remainder of the loan term. In regards to interest, please note that it will begin to accrue on a daily basis from the point of disbursement. While enrolled, interest will accrue on just the borrowed amount of your loan, which is referred to as simple interest. Once your loan enters repayment, the unpaid interest will capitalize onto the principal balance, meaning it will be added to the overall balance of your loan, and then begin to accrue on the entire balance moving forward. Now we're going to jump into some of the details that go into repaying your education loan. Payments begin 6 months after you separate from Harvard. That 6-month time frame before entering repayment is called the grace period. Please keep in mind that you will only receive one grace period per eligible loan. At the end of your grace period is when the deferred interest will capitalize. Your payment amount is then amortized in a way that evenly spreads out costs and is calculated to pay off fees, interest, and the principal balance over the term of the loan. You will receive your first billing statement approximately 1 month before the first payment is due. Unfortunately, we are unable to provide you with your exact payment amount prior to you receiving your first monthly statement. However, for an estimate of your interest accrual and amortized payment amount, You can refer back to the final loan disclosure you received during the loan application process. When you first begin to make payments, you'll notice that most of your payment is applied to the interest. That will change over time as you pay off the interest that accrued while the loan was deferred. Towards the end of your loan term, majority of your payment will go towards the principal balance and cover the interest that accrues on a month-to-month basis. Also keep in mind that UAS does not process principal-only payments. Any payment made is first applied to fees, then to accrued interest, and the remainder to principal. UAS offers your traditional payment methods, which includes one-time electronic payments from a US bank account. You can also set up automatic payments from a US savings or checkings account and receive a 0.25% interest rate reduction. We do accept card payments, but they must be made over the phone with HUECU directly. You can also pay by check or wire funds using services such as Flywire and Western Union. Payments can be made online through your UAS Connect account, by phone with a UAS representative, or you can mail payments to UAS directly. Also note that there are no penalties for early repayment. Falling behind on your student loan payments can have serious consequences. Your student loan becomes delinquent the first day after you miss a payment. A Harvard graduate loan enters default after being 180 days delinquent. Consequences of default include possibly having to repay the entire unpaid amount of your loan immediately. The loan is then assigned to a collection agency, which also comes with collection costs and any associated legal fees. Your credit score will be negatively impacted as a result of the default, and you can also lose your Harvard alumni privileges as well as incur additional late charges. There are a number of ways to avoid default, like completing your program, which can increase your career options and potential income. Paying on time is, of course, the best way to avoid default, and setting up a recurring payment can assist with staying on top of your payments while also saving you some money on interest. Opening all your mail and reading everything pertaining to your student loans can also help you avoid default by ensuring that you don't miss any important notices or statements. And lastly, stay in touch with HUECU and UAS. Contact one of us before you miss a payment on your student loan. That way we can go over your repayment options, such as forbearance, which can be used to temporarily postpone or reduce payments. Now we're going to move on to some tips and helpful resources that you can use along the way. Here we have some budgeting tips to keep in mind that can also assist with managing your education loan. One of the first steps in managing your money is opening a savings account. As I explained earlier in the presentation, opening the savings account with HUECU is a part of the loan origination process. So you already have this part covered. With your savings account, you can set up automatic deposits from your paycheck, whether it be all of the paycheck or a portion of it, to help establish a cushion. Think about depositing any monetary gifts you receive from family members or friends into your savings account, as well as any bonuses you may receive from work. This can also help with establishing an emergency fund that can prevent unnecessary borrowing in the future. The general rule with creating an emergency fund is to save enough to cover 3 to 6 months of your normal expenses. It's also helpful to create a budget and track your spending. Gather the details of your income and expenses so you know how much is coming in and how much is going out. You should also set up monthly spending limits and keep expenses low. Use cash when possible and save for large purchases so you don't have to borrow. A great way to track your spending and manage your budget is to set up alerts that help to keep you on target. You can set up alerts that inform you of your daily balance so you always know what you have available and stay within your spending limit. Creating an alert that lets you know you are approaching your spending limit is useful, as well as creating payment reminders that keep you on track with any financial obligations you may have. And lastly, look for discounts to help you save money. Like our education loans, a lot of companies offer discounts for enrolling in automatic payments. Some employers will even offer discount programs for brands like Apple, Dell, and even Spotify. These are just some basic budgeting tips to keep in mind. Here we have some helpful resources listed for you. You will have access to this presentation moving forward, so you can always revisit it as a point of reference when needed. Now it's time to log into your UAS Connect account. You should have received a document from your school, which you can refer to when creating your account. To create your account, you will need your HUECU member number for the borrower lender ID field. If you aren't sure what your member number is, please reach out to the HUECU Support Center and they can assist you further. If you have a Social Security number already associated with your loan, you can use that instead of your HUECU member number. You will also need the zip code, phone number, and email address associated with your education loan. Once established, you can log into your education loan account to manage your loan. We also encourage you to take this time to update your contact information with UAS. If you are unable to create your account for any reason, please reach out to UAS directly for additional assistance. Thank you again for joining me today. Please be sure to check out the resources we put together for you on this page as additional guidance. If you have any questions at all, do not hesitate to reach out to our education lending team. We're always here to help.